My fellow WWE Universians, the state of the WWE right now is... I'm Chris Over the Wrestling Vlog, who always tells it like it is. I did pretty well on my PLE predictions compared to last year, so that's the state I'm in. And down below is the list of top 10 male wrestlers, female wrestlers, and tag teams of the 2025, determined by the formula that starts with the given points I borrowed from a defunct TNA tournament and adjusted when it comes to PLEs and or title matches. If you want to know, let me know in the comments and I'll put together a video how I work it out. In any case, in the first year of the Paul Triple H Levesque era of the WWE, things, well, they could have been better. Worse? Sure, but being better would have taken more than being worse. Truth be told, part of that has to do with the slipping ratings of AEW. You see, the WWE does their absolute best when they have a serious rival to worry about besting. The Monday Night Wars with WCW brought out the best in angles. Then, when Vince McMahon bought out WCW, things started to sag. Hence why they had the first brand split in 2002. They were no longer competing with WCW, so the only ones they could compete with were themselves. Then when TNA started getting serious, things got better. Briefly. Now TNA is more or less an understudy of WWE, waiting for the sale to finalize. Then came along AEW with a vengeance, and things were good again, until Cody Rhodes, one of the guys who started the damn thing, split to return to WWE. As such, things have sagged yet again, with no one to seriously challenge them. I also think it has to do with Levesque starting to turn into his father-in-law. Like Vince, he's starting to think that the money is all that matters. And that's why he gave Saudi Arabia not only the upcoming Royal Rumble, but WrestleMania 43 as well. The Saudis are still paying heaps of cash to have the major PLEs in their kingdom, as long as it makes people forget how terrible on human rights their government is. I mean, I'm still shocked that they're going to allow 30 women to fight, if indeed they are, given how they treat their own women. I mean, not as bad as other Middle East countries, but still. And Levesque is more than happy to take their money and run to the currency exchange with it. And who got hosed in this all? New Orleans. Less than a month after announcing the Superdome as the home of WrestleMania 42, they turn around and say, no, wait, we want to return to Vegas again. Thus setting up the first time back-to-back WrestleManias have been in the same venue since 4 and 5 in the late 80s, when both were held at the pile of rubble that once was Trump Plaza. Yikes. And given that 43 will be held in 2 Arabian Nights, I'm wondering if Nollins even wants number 44 or the like. Hell, they may ban WWE from the city for good in retaliation for the way they've been treated by them. So yeah, way to go, Levesque. Oh, by the way, if you ever want some of your fans back, never be seen with the current president again. His ratings are already lower than the Katie Vick angle you tried to sell. On top of that, the continuing partnership with TNA and the out-and-out purchasing of AAA Lucha Libre is not helping things. Especially when we have NXT and some main roster superstars taking their titles and holding them hostage. Part of me still thinks TNA should be bought and then merged with NXT somehow. Either that, or put it on par with Evolve in deciding who graduates to TNA. As for AAA, I still think the sale was made to show people that even NXT is much, much better than Eddie Guerrero's old haunt. No one in AAA or TNA, for that matter, has taken an NXT or WWE title. It's all one-sided. And it's making the rosters very bloated. Something needs to be done to level things out between these 3 brands. And one more thing. The purchasing of the main roster PLEs by ESPN sounded good on paper, but as former anchor Kenny Mayne always said, matches aren't played on paper. They're played inside TV screens. And while the initial excitement with WrestlePalooza was a good start, the luster seems to have faded. And who can blame them? The first major PLE, War Games, kind of stunk. It used to give quick recaps of Raw and SmackDown on SportsCenter. Now they only speak of it when a PLE is approaching. Meanwhile, it appears part of the agreement with Peacock, besides still having the NXT PLEs, was to take Saturday night's main event off of NBC and make it streaming exclusive, and have one every damned month. Does too much of a decent thing mean anything to you guys? That being said, one thing seems to have come out of TNA that is actually helping NXT. Joe Hendry. Nope, still hasn't appeared. But ever since he has been showing up in NXT about 2 years ago, everyone seems to love him. And now that he's full-time NXT, he could be on the same fast track to stardom that those like Carmella Hayes and Julia were on. Maybe he could be the vaccine we need. Though it'll take a fair amount of time for the symptoms to ever start to fade. So, things are not looking good for the WWE going into 2026. But there's still a chance to make things better. Better and longer storylines would help, as would emphasizing the tag team ranks a little more, and de-emphasizing the women's secondary titles a little more too. Still don't think they were good ideas to begin with, even 1 year in. And of course, work out the balance of NXT, TNA, and AAA before the fans start to cry WTF. Well, you know, at least one part of the decline is gone for good. All everyone was talking about last year was the retirement of John Cena. Would he win another title before then? Would he hold a title in his final match? What the hell was that short-lived heel turn all about? Cena this and Cena that. Cena was doing what he had been doing for the last decade. Being a part-timer, taking valuable TV time away from the up-and-comers. Does anyone still remember that Jey Uso was World Heavyweight Champion for a few months? No. Because everyone was focused on how Cena's 17th primary title reign would end. Or even if it would end. Look, as I said, I don't like the guy himself, even though I appreciate all he's done for the WWE. At least we don't have to worry about another retirement tour this year. Wait. Didn't AJ Styles and Brock Lesnar hint retirement? Damn it! Guess we'll just have to wait and see if Levesque can pull this crap out of the fire. Of course, we could always tweet or IG him our concerns. And will he listen? I would hope he would. The fans are what keeps the money coming in. As stands the fans of WWE, WWE stands. If fall the fans of the WWE, WWE falls. Thank you, and God bless. I'm Chris Wolvie, the Wrestling Vlog, who always tells it like it is. Pray for peace, Happy New Year, and I'll see you